Today is what? Today is 24. Okay. 2004, good date, not 2004, 2004 and 2004, 2024. Fine. Now coming back to this, why we are doing what we are doing? Simple, it is cash. Okay, simply it is cash. It is not how we are going to do. Now you have a very initially we have little bit concept understanding. What are the how the following slides looks at control of cash. How we are going to control. Is that cash is very important. Again, most important thing is segregation of duties. Okay, controls around cash payments are designed to help prevent with respect to theft and fraud. We look what are the controls of cash payments and followed by cash receipts. When you are paying, what are the things we have to undertake, what are the precautions we have to take, and when we are receiving, what are the controls and test of controls. Is that? Now, when you are making the payments, first it is payments, okay, then it will come with respect to receipts. Okay, first it will come to payments. Is that? There are two different segments are there. Payments are different. Say. Now, we have what as simple as that. When you are paying, practically you understand how it is going to be worked out. We are going to pay only to the valid cash payments only. To whom we have to pay. How we will verify, how you will have controls. There should be a segregation of duties. Cash segregation of duties is a must. You will have supplier statements independently reviewed and reconciled. Supplier will give the statement when they are supplying, and we have the trade payable records. Is that? I can put it trade payable controls. Is that? You have the payables records will be there to whom we have to pay outstanding. Is it right? We will use the concept payables in the current liabilities. Is that? In the current liabilities we will use the concept of payables, but that payables is a total summary amount. Okay, that is the summary amount. Again, in that payables you will have a different control accounts will be there for each and every type of customer. You should not only independently reviewed, reconcile, but you should also have a monthly bank reconciliation. Definitely payments is through bank. Okay, payments is through bank. Now you see the thing. If you see the practical bank reconciliation of your own firm, what you will do? You will have debits and you will have credits. Is that? You will have debits and you will have credits. To whom you have to pay it from and whom you have received. You should do a monthly reconciliation. And definitely now it's even my explanation is comparatively less. Is that? Only authorized staff to have to make a electronic cash payments. Even now what's happening, you are transferring. Is it right? You are transferring from with the help of software bank to bank. Is it right? Somebody will prepare. Is it right? Somebody will prepare, somebody will authorize of payments. Is that? Then you will have an transfer will be there, OTP will be there, and then there will be a transfer. Is that? Structural process will be there. What it says? It says that simple. Authorized people are able to make the cash payments and you have to issue. It's a normal practice. Who is authorized to issue checks? Electronic cash payments are only after all source documents have been independently. Now what we are moving. Okay, we are moving from physical cash to we are moving to digital cash payments. Now checks are there still in most of the countries. Still it is there. Is it right? But what happening? People are willing to use a electronic system of payments. Okay, digital payments, wire transfers. Okay, you have digital payments, we use the word wire transfers. Is it right? You have electronic transfers, everything we are coming into place. Okay, now when you are talking about, now you have very clear, when you are talking about a segregation, what is test of controls? These controls are within the organization. These are what we are doing as an auditor. Is it right? When we say segregation of duties, observe proper segregation or duties are not there. Preparation, verification, authorization, approval, transfers, whatever the sequence that happens. Is it right? Every sequence, no sequence should be done independently. Is that? Should be done independently. Is that? Review of procedures for reconciling supplier statement. Again, when you are making supplier statement, you have to review the reconciliation of the suppliers. Review of the reconciliation reconciliation to confirm means you have to know what is the procedures of reconciliation, and somebody else has to be there to confirm whether the one will do the reconciliation. Okay, one will prepare reconciliation. Okay, how important it is there. What will do, the another person will review whether the reconciliations to confirm that it has been undertaken and it has been reviewed. Sequence is very important. Segregation, we are talking about the procedures of reconciling. Third one is you are reviewing. The fourth one is review delegated or list of authority. Who is authorized to make payments? Okay, you are going to authorized to use payments. Inspect documentation for evidence of approval by senior. We have seen whenever there is a authorization, in most of the cases it is a board resolution. Is it right? It is a board resolution, and these people are authorized to approve. Again, there will be a cash limits, payment amount. Okay, there will be a cash limits will be there. If you are talking about something, is it right? Less than 1,000, who is going to pay? If it is between 1,000 and 10,000, is it right? If it is between 10,000 and so on and so forth. Okay, so on and so forth, 50,000. Likewise, is it right? You have the approved list. We have to verify, inspect. Okay, we have to inspect that approved list. This is with respect to payment occurrence. Okay, payments with respect to occurrence. Completeness. Now you have paid. Once you have paid, again, what to ensure that all cash payments has been recorded. Is that you have paid, but you have to make whether debits and credits are there or not. Is that? Especially debits. Again, segregation of duties. Okay? Now you see how important is with respect to cash. This is the control. Is that? This is the basic supplier statement independently verified. The same process is there. Supplier statement independently verified and with trade payables. Is that when you are talking about the payments, it is payables. You have monthly reconciliation has been prepared, review. Okay, monthly preparation has been prepared and reviewed. The fourth one is your review of cash payments by manager before release. Means a senior authority. Fine. The authority is at a higher level. Okay, responsibility is that the responsible person should review daily cash payment reconciled to posting to payables accounts. Everything is that you will have in most of the cases. What we'll do, we will have a daily report. Is that to have the daily report? Anything is there, you have to see if there is any payments are there. You have to update. Okay, you have it is nothing but it has to be updated on real time basis, or at least by the end of the day. Use of, see the things, pre-numbered checks. You have the checkbook, is it right? You have the checkbook. If you the moment you open an account, they will give a checkbook. What they will do a checkbook? They will have a small leaf will be like this. Check will be like this. Okay, and you will have the first page. In the first page, you will have the date, to whom you have paid, or to whom you have paid, and what is the amount you have paid. Is it right? This is very important. And in the checkbook, what will happen? you will have a pre-numbered checks. Okay, means you should, when you are issuing, you have to issue sequentially. You should not issue in between the checks. Is that you have to have
So how the
pardon?
How the pre-numbering helps to prevent errors and fraud?
It is easy enough to make an audit trail will be there now. Is it easy? If it is right, we will say that yes, today we have issued, is it right? Today 20th is there. Today we have issued checks with respect to 1 to 5. Okay. Now, tomorrow we will issue checks from 6 to 10. Now, in between, assume you are issuing a check of 7. In between, you cannot tear it off. Is it right? You cannot tear it off. You have to go by sequence.
But even with collusion and having pre-numbering, we can't prevent the fraud 100%, right? I mean, the person issuing the check and getting approval for issuing the check. Even with collusion, we can't prevent the fraud.
We cannot prevent anything. Don't expect that we will have 100%. 100% is impossible. We are taking precautions. Controls are nothing but controls are precautions we are taking. Don't expect, don't be in though we should not write in examination that yes, it can be prevented, never. See, if somebody wants to do, they have 100 million ways to do. Okay, there are 100 million ways to do. If you are precautions, what are the precautions you have to take? When the bank issues a checkbook with clear name. Now it is very, very high-fi. Is that you have very electronic, digitalized. You have the barcode will be there. You have the name will be printed. Account number will be printed. And you have company name will be printed. Account number is printed. And you have a pre-numbered checks. Pre-numbered. Check numbers will also be printed. They will ask, okay? So, we should not, what they want to say is, we should not use, now the concept is not there, but they are telling, you have to use a pre-numbered checks. No manual numbers are there. Without check numbers, you will never come across a checkbook as such. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Fine. Now, what we are doing, same thing. When you are saying it is observe and evaluate, is it right? Segregation of duties. Review procedures, how reconciliation is taking place. Review reconciliation to confirm whether it has been undertaken or reviewed. Here what we are doing, these are the most important things. Is that we are observing. Is that you are observe and evaluate the segregation. You will review. These are the things what we are doing. Review procedures. You will review review means only you are reviewing. You are not doing anything. Is it right? You are just making things very specific. You are whether it has been done. Is it? You have done what they say that it has been by the review cash payments by manager. You will inspect whether manager has signed it or not. The moment manager is reviewing, manager will sign. Review a sample of reconciliation for evidence that we have done it. Is that review a sample of evidence and examine whether they have issued, verify use of pre-numbered checks. Is that exam? Now you remember this. We are going to use this in a scenario based. Okay, they will say that it has not been reconciliation. What we have done in our previous question, reconciliation is not done. In some cases, they are doing reconciliation. Every accounts they are doing for on a monthly basis. In some cases, they are doing it for for every 2 months. That is the weakness. Okay, that is the deficiency. They will say that they have not issued they are not issuing the pre-numbered checks. That is the deficiency. Okay, that is the deficiency. Then you have to give recommendation that the checks should be issued with a pre-numbered check numbers has to be there before you are issuing a check. Is right? Segregation of duties. A clerk will prepare the check and he will issue the check. It has to be authorized. They will give you different scenarios. Based on the scenarios, we have to make a reflection on that. Is that? This is with respect to completeness. Are you clear about this? The first one is with respect to the occurrence. The second one is with respect to completeness. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Fine. The third one, when we are talking about the things, it says that whether it has been accuracy, classification and valuation. Is that accuracy, classification and valuation? What we want, what is the objective of this? That cash payments are recorded correctly in the ledger. Is that you see now you see the things. The moment there is a general entry, is that we have to do, is that there is a general entry, automatically the flow will be there. Is that automatically the flow will be there. Is that you are talking about the cash payments. What is the cash payment general entry? Please tell anyone. Paid to ABC Limited. What will be the debit and what will be the credit?
So debit cash.
Payments.
I mean, so you're making a payment, you mean?
Is it? Yes.
So in this case, the cash will decrease.
Yes.
And even the trade payables will decrease.
Yes.
So credit trade payables and debit cash.
Cash will decrease. Payables will decrease. Is it right? When the cash is an asset, when the asset is decreasing, it should be credit. When it is a liability, is it? It is a liability. When the liability is decreasing, it should be debit. Is that? When the liability is decreasing, it is debit. What will happen? Debit will, if liability increases, it is credit. If liability is decreasing, it is debit. Is it right? Debit will be payables and credit will be what? Credit will be cash or bank. Is that? Little bit. These have to be very, very specific for you. This is the weakest point. And if you are strong in this area, you are strong everywhere. You are strong everywhere. That's very simple. You can say this is the heart, this is the brain, this is the organs of the accounting. That you have to be very strong in debits and credits. The only thing I will say, because we are getting exemptions now, exemptions we are not doing basic financial accounting too, and we are not doing financial reporting. This is the where we will find little bit tougher to understand this. But slowly and slowly, if we are going to be in this profession, you have to make sure that it's all debits and credits that matters. Is that? It all debits, and if you are strong here, it's a piece of cake for us. Okay. Now what you are coming back to this. it says that we are talking in terms of what is the accuracy classification is very important. Classification means where you are posting. Okay, valuation, what is the amount, okay, what will happen whenever you are talking in terms of payments, is that when you are talking in terms of payments, is that they will be we are discount, is that we will receive discount allowed received, is that if we will receive discount. Sometimes what will happen, you have made a purchase of 10,000. Just I am giving you an example how it is relating. You have made a credit purchases of 10,000. You have received a discount of 100. Okay. Now, in some cases, what will happen? There will be some damaged goods will be there. For those damaged goods, we will not pay. Is it right? For those damaged goods, we will not pay. Assume you have a damaged goods of 50. Then you will take all the things into consideration, any subsequent related to purchases. Is that you will have sometimes what will happen, you will have purchase returns will also be there. You have purchases, you have discount received, you have any damages, is it right? You have any purchase returns, then what will happen, you will say that this is the net amount of purchases, 99,850. Then we are issuing a check for this. Is that this is what the most important thing, classification. For discount received, separate account. For purchase return, separate account. For any damages, separate account. That is the classification. We have to make sure that it is done in the correctly, it has been recorded in the ledger. In order to do this, is it whether it has been recorded, classified and accuracy, reconciliation, payments, cash payments and receipts, reconciliation of daily payments. We should not keep pending. Okay, anything at the see, these are very crucial. At the end of the day, you should know what is the cash balance. Is that any time, whatever, even I will tell you like this, if you are talking about ATM or if you are talking about CDM, the moment you deposit or you do moment to withdraw amount, automatically it will be updated. Is it right? It will be immediately updated. Is it right? You receive, you get the cash dispense from the machine, you count and you put in your wallet. Before you complete your wallet, immediately a message will come that it has been updated, that you have withdrawn money, you have deposited money. Such quickness should be there. It has to be updated on real time basis. Is that especially electronic cash payment transfers, especially e-transfer, digital transfers, internet banking, phone banking, whatever you say. Is that? And checks issued. Is that? Checks issued, fine. It will take time. Okay, it will take 1 hour. It takes 1 day, 24 hours. If it is outstation checks, it will take 3 days. That is the reason we are very much concerned about when we are doing bank reconciliation. We are not focusing much on cash. We are focusing more on checks. Okay. Supplier statement, why reconciled? Once you are paying, is it right? Once you are paying, the supplier statement has to be updated also. Is it right? You should know what is the updated payments every month, on a real time basis. Okay. The reconciliation. There is a monthly bank reconciliation has to be there. Is that? That's what we say. How many checks we have issued. Is that? What is the bank balance? That is the reason. What bank will do? Bank will send a bank statement to the company every month promptly. Every month promptly they will send the bank statement. In some banks it will be done at the end of 31st of the last day of the month. Timing factor is there. Now you have international time zones are there. That is the reason you will get bank statement within after 8 hours or 12 hours or 18 hours. But that's not we are talking about. We are very much concerned about bank reconciliation statement with the ledger to whom we have paid. Otherwise, if it is not updated, we cannot know what is the current balance. Okay. Review what you are doing. We are reviewing the conciliation to ensure it has been performed. Is that we are reviewing the cancellation. What happened, Laila? Reviewing the cancellation to ensure that it has been performed and reviewed. Is that review, you have to, as an auditor, the only purpose is, now you have to be very specific what we are doing in sales, what you are doing in purchases, and what you are doing in cash. In the cash, you will review reconciliation. In the cash, you will review reconciliation for sample of accounts. In the cash, you will issue payments, you will review bank reconciliation evidence. You will see whether they are doing or not. Okay? You will see whether they are doing or not. This is with respect to what? Accuracy, classification, and is that payments. What this is control objective 1. Okay? These are control objective 1. See, this is very much important. If you are thorough with this, your question answer sessions will be very, very easy. Very easy. Is it right? Now, what is the objective to control object? The purpose of doing this, is it right? Payments are posted in correct payable accounts and to the general ledger. See, everyone, got my point? See the thing, you are withdrawing amount, is it right? You will have, take my example, you are withdrawing, you will have ATM card number, debit card will be there, is it right? You have a debit card number will be there, you will have a account number will be there, is it right? You have a debit card number there. Now you are saying payments, is it right? Now you are having mobile banking. When you are talking about mobile banking, you will have a mobile number will be there. It's a unique number, is it right? It is a unique number that it specifies. Is it? It's a unique number that happens. No, is that is what it says. When you are talking about the payables, it has to be posted in the current. Every supplier will have, we have done in one of the cases, chart of accounts. Is it? The moment you are talking about the supplier, is it right? First and foremost, in the master file, what we have to do, in the master file, is that in the master file you have to give the code, is it right? You have to give the code to the supplier, is it right? You have to give the name, is it? Automatically this like account number, debit card number, account number, mobile number, which is going to be very, very unique, is it right? That's where we are talking about. You will have every supplier who is supplying to us, is that every supplier you have, what you are doing, you are going to have a separate payable control accounts. Control means individual, is that? Controls means individual, unique, is that? This is the purpose, to ensure that cash payments are posted to the correct account and to the general ledger. Supplier statement individually reconciled to payables account regularly. Here you have to reconcile supplier statement. The first one, agreement of monthly cash payment general to general, means whether the balances, is it right? Balances are agreed. Is that balances? See, we will say that the process is there. Is that we are going to say that it will be ledger, it will be from subsidiary books, is it right? First it will be general entry, then it will be subsidiary books, then it will be a ledger, then it will be going to be a general ledger, is it right? Then it will be a general ledger, then it will be a trial balance, is it right? Then ultimately it will be a financial statements. But as an auditor, is it right? As an auditor, you have to view that what is there in the ledger and what is there in the general ledger. Okay, what we have posted, what is the general agreement of cash payment general to the general ledger posting. Even it is system generated, it has to be agreed. Is that payable account reconciliation to general ledger control account. Is that for a sample of people? Is it right? For a sample of the payables, you have to do this. Now, when supplier statements are reconciled, you have what we are doing, we are reviewing. In all the cases, we will review. Is that review what sample of accounts, review the posting of general to the general ledger, and review reconciliation for evidence. Somewhere we have done, is it right? Somewhere we have done, if you see on Thursday, is that what we have done? One of the questions, we said that the client has given the information, we have to trust. No. Client will give the information. There is no concept of trusting at all. Is that we cannot trust with any oral. We have to review practically. We have to inspect for the evidence. Is that we have to inspect for the review the reconciliation that has been performed. It has been not only performed, but also it has been reviewed by the responsible person. When we are coming back for the question answer sessions, keep it in mind. Be thorough with these concepts. Okay, this is with respect to control objective 1. Now, cutoff we have done extensively. Okay, I don't want to take that much time here. Date. The moment you say cutoff, it is nothing but it has to be recorded in current accounting period. Correct accounting period. Anything cut off. Is that anywhere cut off, it is a correct accounting period. Is that to ensure that payments are recorded in reconciliation of funds, okay, electronic funds transfer, checks issued, has to be posted to cash payment, first general, and then you have payable accounts. Now you can understand how important is general entries. Is that you have to cut off. Date is important. Is it? Now what happens? And people are there. Tomorrow also you will do this. Whenever you are doing, and in the examination question will come across like this. We will, if you are talking in terms of December, is it right? December, and you are talking in terms of January. What is more important is we will see what is the last 15 days. Is that we see what are the any large amounts are there, any unusual amounts are there. Okay, any large amounts are there, any unusual amounts are there. The last 15 days and the first 15 days. Is that the first 15 days? We will see whether it has been recorded in the correct period or not. Is that we have recorded in the correct period or not? Very important. Today we will issue. We will prepare the check. Is it right? You are preparing the check. What will happen? Assume you are preparing a check of 150,000. And this is when you are preparing on 29th. Okay, you are preparing. You will make a journal entry. Okay, you will make a journal entry. But what will happen? The check will be issued on the 3rd of January. Is it? The check will be issued on 3rd. Now what will happen? There will be an inconsistency with the balances. Is that the payment is related to this year? Is that the payment is done with respect to this year, but the payment has been executed in the next month. Is that next year? Automatically you have to be and it's not a small amount. It's a huge amount of 150,000. Is that it? A huge amount of 150,000. These things are very much have implication on what it will be on the cutoff. Is that implementation of? Pardon?
Here, the 150,000 will be considered as a next year. Right?
You see, that is the expenditure of that is the expenses of this year.
Yes.
But clearance is happening next year.
Yes.
31st December, your balance will be more by 250,000.
Yeah.
Okay, 31st December. What is it? You have to review the last 15 days and you have to review for the next 15 days whether the posting has been done in the correct period or not. Is that whether the posting has been done? What you will do? Your cash book balance will decrease, but your bank book is not decreasing. Is it right?
Yeah.
Your cash book will, the cash book bank column will be decreased. You will reduce it by 150. But actually bank statement, when we see bank statement, the bank balance will be 150 because it is going to be deposited or encashed next year. Is it? The rule says that you have to show it in the correct accounting period. Reconciliation of fund transfer checks issued to cash payments. That is the reason what they will do most of the time. They will hold the transactions in the bank on 31st December.
So what's the correct accounting period in this case?
In this case, correct accounting, see, if it is expenditure is related to in the current year, then you have to record in the current year only. Cutoff
So the
is
cash
that.
balance will be adjusted based on the bank statement.
Fine. In the bank reconciliation, you will see the thing. Once you are doing the reconciliation, definitely there will be some lodgements will be there. Checks uncleared will be there. Is that checks uncleared is there? The moment you are issuing the check, is that the moment you are issuing the check, automatically what should happen? It has to be posted correctly, and your bank balance, in your bank balance, it has to be decreased. And when you are doing the reconciliation, on 31st December, is that when you are doing the reconciliation on 31st December, you have to say checks issued but not encashed. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Is it? Checks has been issued but not encashed. Yes, tell me.
So the cash of the current year will be adjusted accordingly.
100%. The bank balance in the cash in our books.
Yeah.
These are the very important things. Cutoff is very important. I can say cutoff is the standard. Is it that if you take the cutoff, it is going to be used in most of the module, most of the controls. Okay. Fine. Next, the last one. Presentation will be last one. Now you see the thing. You understand the way it is done. Okay. First, what will happen? The first will happen with respect to occurrence and existence. Okay, in some cases existence. The first is occurrence. The second one is what? The second one is completeness. You will ask me, what is the sequence you have to follow? Is it write separately? Okay, write separately. You make it a table. Okay, you make it a table and say that this is the cash payments. Is that the first one is what? The first one is occurrence. The second one is what? The second one is completeness. Is that the second one is what? Completeness. Then once it is complete, then you see accuracy, totaling, classification. Okay. Once it is complete, then we make classification. This is the third one. Is it? I am right? Second, third. Yes. The third one. Next, what is the third? This is also 3.1. Is there? This is 3.2. Okay. This is 3.1. Because there are two objectives is there. Objective 1 and objective 2. Fine. Next, you have in terms of cutoff. This is point number 4. Is it right? Point number 4. Assertion 4. Is it right? Next, you have a presentation and disclosure, point number 5. I will, as a shortcut, I will say that you have to understand remember Okay, I can say memorize this. Okay, memorize only the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The moment you say cash payments, is that you say cash payments, what are the assertions? Occurrence, completeness, accuracy, cutoff, and presentation.
And we have to remember the control objective.
Automatically it will come. Automatically it will come. Is that we cannot say that. That automatically practice will come. Okay, that is situational. Okay, that is situational. But only thing is, tomorrow in the question, if they ask about payments, in the question they ask about payments, what are the payments? You will have the occurrence, you have the completeness, you have the accuracy, valuation, and what is the accuracy, valuation, and classification? You have the cutoff, you have the presentation and disclosure. This much. What I am telling you, memorize that much only. Other things we are going to cover with the scenario. Automatically we will understand. Okay? Don't this, because this is the situationally they will give. Okay? This is the in the question it will give automatically. You will have. You are going to understand. To ensure that cash payments are charged to the correct accounts. What we have done, when you are doing the things, first you will do general entries. Is it that first you are doing general entries? The last one, what you will do, you are talking about general ledger. Is that general ledger? In this process, what happens? You have the general entry. Is that then you will have the subsidiary books. Is that this is the way you should know the flow. Okay, you will have the subsidiary books. Then what will happen? You will have the ledger. Then you will have what? Then you will have the ledger, general ledger. Here what will happen in this process? You will have some control accounts will be there of the customers, payables control accounts. This is where it happens. What they are asking is to ensure that the cash payments has been, if you have done here rightly, automatically what will happen? The flow will work correctly till the last. You have to know what you have done in the beginning and what you have done in the end. Because at this point of time, you are talking about financial statements. You will have the trial balance. From the trial balance, we are preparing financial statements. Is that? You should make sure that things are going well. Payments, very critical, very sensitive, very critical. And you should make a point. Payment will be not done so easily. Is that? Even you at your workplace, when you are doing the payments, you should have all the documents. Then only a check will be signed or a transfer can be made. Is that? When you are doing the cash payments, what are the things? Charge to the correct. First we will see chart of accounts. Is that chart of accounts? What will happen? You will have the code will be there. Is that you will have the chart of accounts. Even the chart of accounts, you have the bank account number will be there. Is that in the chart of accounts you have customer code will be there. Is that you will have customer code will be there. You have the bank account will be there. Very important. You cannot change the bank account so easily. Okay, first whatever is there as per the agreement, the same account will be carried forward throughout the transaction, unless until it has been changed and notified. Is that there is a flexibility, but it has to be notified by the responsibility party. Is that? Now you have to see chart of account controls. Independent approval and review of general ledger assignment. A person should have a third party. Okay, there should be a third person who will have a independent approval and they will review the general ledger assignment. See, means you should make it a point that whenever you are talking in terms of payments, it has to be 100% error free from the client side. Is that 100% error free? Margin of error should be zero. Is that margin of error should be zero? That much you should be. You have to take care of the things as such. Are you clear about this? Is it okay?
Yeah.
Is it? Yes, Gaita and Laila.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Listen carefully. Listen. See, now you understand what we have done. When we are doing the examination questions, I will give you the option to respond. That's all. Anything, if any help is needed from my side, I will, if something goes wrong, then I will intervene. Otherwise, it is like a test. Is it right? It is like a test every Thursday. Is it right? Now, what you are doing, test of controls, review cash payments, generals. General is the, general is nothing but book of original entry. Is it? General is nothing but book of original entry. Now what happens? Why we are talking about charging of accounts? Is it right? Now most of the time it is based on the software. Okay? You have a software. You have a barcode. Is it? You have a barcode for which what is the source? What is the back end? Is that what is the back end operations? Is that the back end operation is your master files has to be very, very accurate. Okay? Master data files. Is that master data files should be very, very accurate. And when you are creating master data files, we are giving all the complete information. Like a person is opening an account in the bank. Your company is opening an account in the bank. Okay, your company is opening a new account in the bank. When your company is opening a new account in the bank, you have to furnish complete detailed information. Is that detailed information? When you are submitting detailed information, what is reflected on the debit card or credit card or the checkbook? Very summarized information. That is the charging of account, chart of accounts. Is that chart of accounts is that it will have a complete information about the customer. Whenever there is a payment, we will have a double check. Multiple checks will be there. Understand why? Multiple checks will be there. You have to give more than 2 fields should match. Then only the payment will be processed. Okay? Then only the payment. Review the assignments. Review assignment of general ledger account. Whether it has been approved. Is it right? Because general ledger is the final point. Is that the moment there is a general ledger, it means it has led to what? It will lead to trial balance. Based on the trial balance, we will prepare financial statements. So that is the point where we are talking about the thing. We are talking about presentation and disclosure. We are stopping where? We are stopping at the general ledger. Trial balance is done only for what? Trial balance is not only for the technique. Trial balance is preparing only to know the accuracy, that's all. Whether totals are right or wrong. Okay? Totals are right or wrong, that much only we are going to say in the trial balance. Is that if general ledgers are right, automatically trial balance is a reflection of the right. Are you clear about these payments? Is it okay? How many are there? Just tell me quickly. 5. You see and you check. No problem. What are the assertions for the payments? Occurrence, completeness, valuation, accuracy, classification, cutoff and presentation. any one of you. See the things. Now it is a group understanding, group study. You have to help yourself. Any doubts are there. Understand what? Use the group. Post it on the group. If any doubts are there, post it on the group. I will not respond. I will check who is responding. If anything is there, you make corrections. Other person can make corrections. Other persons can clarify the doubts. Is it? That is what hub is nothing but you have the ACCA hub is also there. Is it right? You use the hub very clear, effectively. Is it right? When you are doing that, have a discussion in the group effectively. If my intervention is needed, I will come and I will make corrections. If you think that if it is right, I will also respond by my thumbs up. I will like that if answer is right, I will like it. Use the group, team, that's very important. Group study will make a lot of difference. Don't hesitate. Don't say that everybody are learning here. Is it okay with you all about these cash payments?
Yeah.
Is it clear? Yes, Mariam, Gaita and Laila.
Yes.
Okay, I'm waiting for your response. Come back to this. We are talking about cash receipts. Okay, how we have to cash. The same process. Okay, the same process. You will receipts definitely. There will be we are receiving response. I cannot say payments are less important. No, everything is equally important. To include that, all valid cash receipts are received, and most importantly, it is deposited. Now the cash, if you take retail business, is it right? You take retail business, is it right? Most of there are various ways. People will use debit cards, people will use credit cards, okay? People will use the transfers, e-transfers, is it right? And some cases, people are also using cash, physical cash. Is it right? You see the thing, every cashier, just on top of his cashier, there will be a camera will be there. Is it right? Segregation of duties. Okay. Use of electronic receipt transfer, not use of electronic cash receipts transferred, not received or deposited. See, whenever even you are talking about by payment of debit card, is it right? By payment of debit card, the moment you are swiping, the card is swiped, what will happen? You will have that acknowledgement, small receipt will come. Is it right? Small receipt will come. They will keep it as documented. Okay, they will keep it as a documented, that it is as a evidence. Okay, the second one, monthly reconciliations performed and reviewed. Is that monthly reconciliation has been performed, and use of cash registers, point of sale devices, swiping machines. See the transformation that happening now. It is a rule by law. Every other business should have a swiping machine. Is that every other business? If it is not there, there is a fine that will be imposed. Is that will be a fine around 300 that will be imposed. So every business, small or large, they should have swiping machine. Yeah, you are replacing the physical cash physical cash. Okay, you are replacing what? You are replacing the physical cash movements. Fine. Periodic inspection of cash sales procedures. Internally, is it right? We are talking about the controls. A person within the business, you should have a periodic inspection. How they are doing the cash. Restrictive endorsements of checks immediately on receipt. Once you are receiving the check, immediately you should not say that it has cash received. Once the check is encashed, then only it is received. Is that you cannot say that once you are receiving the check, maybe check will get bounced. Okay, check will get bounced. Mail opened by 2 staff members. Is that any mail, any safe? Is it right? 2 staff members, not by 1. Okay, a junior as well as senior. Immediate preparation of cash book or list of mail receipts. Is that what you will get? You are getting now. It is not there, but even in some cases you will get through courier. Is that you will get through courier? You will get through postal. Okay. Now that is not there. It is slowly eliminating. But in most of the countries still this process is existing. Okay. Even you will get checks by courier. Okay. You will get checks by courier. That has to be immediate preparation. You should not delay. Independent check of agreement of cash and checks deposited at bank with registered total. Whenever you are depositing, is it right? You should have, one person will receive, is it right? One person will receive, one person will deposit, and one person will review independently. Is that the independent check of agreement of bank deposit slips? When you are depositing, is that when you are depositing, you will have the counter file. Okay, you have a counter receipt will be there. Is that we have to on a daily cash summary. Is that how much we have deposited? Is that how much we have deposited? That is the reason in most of the cases. Next day we will have today cash will be deposited next day. Immediately before there is a standing instruction before 11 you have to deposit. Is that is the occurrence. Okay, these are the controls. You see here there are so many controls are there. Is that you are almost 10 controls are there. It is a receipt. Okay. What are the test of controls? Observe there is a proper segregation of duty. This is the role of the auditor. Examine application controls for electronic cash receipts. Electronic cash receipts. What are the application controls? Is that in terms of who is receiving? Is that who is swiping? Is that how it is going to be done? Is that whether we are having all the receipts in place or not? The most important thing, monthly bank reconciliation. It has to be performed, it has to be prepared, it has to be reviewed. Is that you observe what are the how cash sales procedures are working it out. Is that see the thing that's very very specifically you take the cash at the bank level, or you take the cash at most important we will come across handling of the cash in most of the time retail business. Is right? You will talk about any hypermarkets. There we will have more exposure to understand the process. Is that more exposure? Every other cashier, is it right? Every other cashier will hold the cash box very dearly. Okay, will not. Their responsibility is the cash box. Is that right? They will hold it very dearly. Is that they will not share anything about the passwords, anything about the cash box. Is that cash is very very important, and any mishandling of the cash, it will have very very long standing implications. Okay, inquire with managers about results of inspection. that is anything is moving smoothly? Is that everything is moving smoothly, or is there any changes, any improvements are needed? Observe who is opening the mail. Mail is nothing but the courier. Okay, I'm reporting the mail is nothing but the courier. Who is opening? Is it right? Whether two people are opening, including the checks endorsement. Two people have to be there. Is it right? At least. Is it? One should be open, one should record, and one should verify. Okay, because we don't know how the checks. See, even there is nothing like that. You are going to have any fraud on checks, but things are very clear. In some cases, what will happen? You will have a checks which has been crossed, and in some cases you have the checks, you call it as a bearer checks. There is a possibility that things may go wrong. Observe mail opening procedures. Is it right? We are talking about mail opening. What are the procedures? How they are documenting. Is it how they are documenting? Is that observe preparation of cash receipts records. You are observing how the client staff is preparing cash receipts. Any review documentation of evidence, whether somebody is doing independent checking or not. Is that somebody is doing independent checking or not? And review documentation for evidence. I think both are review documentation for evidence. Is that this is with respect to occurrence. Fine. Now, what is the completeness? The most important, the source. This is the source. Is it right? This is the source. The source is very important for us. Is it? Subsequently, now, what is the objective of completeness? The objective is that all cash receipts has been recorded. Just read this one, 125, 125. Once it's over, press 10. Is it? Whether there is a segregation of duties, transfers, use of electronic cash receipts, transfer, not received or deposited. Is that which have been not received or deposited? Monthly bank reconciliation performed and reviewed. Is the same thing. Process is not that much change. Daily cash receipts reconciled with customer accounts and customer statements prepared and sent on a regular basis. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Is that? Observe what they are doing. If they are saying segregation of duties, evaluate proper segregation duties. You have the IT controls will be there, application controls will be there, change of passwords, usernames, is it accessibility, all those things. Is it in respect of electronic cash receipt transfer. We are reviewing bank reconciliation statement, whether it has been performed and reviewed. Review reconciliation and inquire management about handling of customer statements. Why we are giving customer statements prepared on a regular basis? If any differences, Is that if any differences exist? Is that if any different immediately on timely basis? Is it right? Immediately on timely basis, it can be rectified. I will not say rectified, it can be reconciled. It can be reconciled. That is the reason we are sending it on a regular basis. Accuracy and classification. It has been recorded at correct amounts. Is it? What will happen? There are three types of errors. Is it right? There are three types of error. One of the type of error is error of commission. Is it right? One of the type of error in accounting is error of commission. There may be possibility. Is it right? There may be possibility. Now it's as simple as that. Is it right? You see the deposits. Okay, you see the deposits. You are writing the denominations. Is it right? You are writing the denominations. You are taking the total. Is it? You are writing, and it is not only in figures. Is it right? It will be in words also. Is it? Checkbook. Check. You see the check. In the check, what you will write? You will write first in words. Then you will write on the one box. They will put it in value. Okay. It will be in figures. Is that is what cross double checking. Okay. Daily remittances reconciled to control listing for remittance advices. We are doing on a daily how much you are depositing. Is it right? Remittation reports reconciled. You will have a daily report and you have the deposit report. Okay. Daily how much you have received and daily how much you have deposited. Not only on daily basis, we also do on a bank reconciliation statement done by independently. It has to be reviewed. You will see the daily reconciliation. You will revise daily reconciliations, and you will also revise whether it has been done, performed, who has done, and who has reviewed. Now, almost for the last, if you take 10 to 15 slides, okay, 10 to 15 till from cash, only cash payments and receipts. Is that you are always reviewing what? You are always reviewing. Somebody will perform and somebody will review. Is it? Now, what is the second objective? We are talking in terms of receivables accounts. The receivables accounts. I will add this receivables accounts and receivable control accounts. Is it? As we are talking in terms of payments, is it right? As we are talking in terms of receipts also. So you are depositing exclusively. It will be deposited in your account. There is no plus, there is no minus. There will be a remote chance. I can say there will not be any chance that will be identified as an error. Is it right? That will be identified as an error. Daily remittances report daily with posting to cash receipt generals. We are comparing. See the thing. We are what there are three documents. Is it right? You will have the daily reports. Is it right? You will have the general. Is it right? You have the cash general and you have the customer accounts. Why especially exclusively when we are talking about the cash should be done reconciled on daily basis. This is mandatory. You see a bank, you see a cash, is it right? You see a bank. What happened? The teller cannot close the cash. Is it right? In the bank, the teller cannot close the day without reconciliation. Is that the reconciliation has to be done by the end of the day. Even wherever the people who are dealing with cash, they have to make sure that there should be a reconciliation. That is the reason. Is that most of the time what will happen, especially with cash, the controls will be on the daily basis. Monthly customer sends statements should be sent to the customers to make a monthly reconciliation. Monthly cash receipt generals agree to monthly balances. Is it right? Monthly general balances should be agreed, and you should have a receivables ledger reconciled with the control account. Is it right? You will have a receivables. Is it right? You will have a receivables. You will have a receivables of 12,000. Is that you have four different customers, XYZ, PQR. Is it right? The total of this balance and the total of this receivables should match. Why we are doing? We are not going to expect any margin of error. What are the you are reviewing the reconciliation, you are reviewing the procedures, how they are sending out the statements. Is it? You are reviewing the general entries, postings and to the general ledger, and most importantly, you are reviewing the ledger reconciled with the independent accounts. You have the cutoff. Is that I'm not using this to a mucher extent. Is that same thing? It has to be recorded in the correct accounting period. You have to prepare bank reconciliation at the end of the period, and you have to review the bank reconciliation whether it has been prepared and it has been reviewed. Cutoff is, again, I am telling you, these are the easy marks. Is it right? Cutoff is very specifically focused on the date. And last, again the same one. Is it right? The last one is your presentation and disclosure in your general ledger. Is it right? We are talking in terms of that cash receipts are charged to the correct accounts. Correct accounts means, again, we are talking in terms of what? We are talking in terms of chart of accounts. They have been placed, reviewed regularly. I will add updated also. Codes in place for different types of receipts from different sources. Okay, from retail, from wholesale, from corporate, from government. Everything will be separately classified. Is it right? You can classify it is retail, or it is from the corporate, or it is from the government, it is from the other business, wholesale, anything. Is it right? Depending on the clients, you have to put the codes in place for different types of receipts. Inspect. What are the test of controls? You are inspecting documentary evidence. I have written here, see, I have written here updated. Is it right? Any updates are there, any update is there. You cannot change the master file, okay? Any update is there, you should have a documentary evidence that this account has to be updated. Otherwise, we don't have any authority to update the things. Any changes are there, it is the auditor responsibility to inspect those documents. Test application controls for proper codes. Is that test? You have that. Is it right? You have test data is there. Is it right? You have to test with entering the wrong data or entering the correct data. Then the account name will be reflected rightly or not. Is it clear to you? Is it right? We have done. Is it right? We have done cash payments and cash receipts. I am putting it a star mark and I am putting it with a purple color. Major one, okay? Major one. Is it right? It's while doing question answers, things will be more easy. That much I can tell you. Okay? While doing question answers, it will be more specific one. Is it okay with you?
Yeah.
Fine. Next. We have payroll. Is it? We have payroll, revenue and capital expenditure. Okay? Revenue and we have payroll, revenue and capital expenditure. We'll complete payroll and we will stop. Is it okay with you? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll complete payroll and we'll stop. Okay. A little bit hectic. I can understand. Is that three things are coming up? It is little bit the same process. Okay. Now, payroll very specific and it happens with every organization. Is it? It happens across the organizations. Okay, everywhere. Payrolls are very sensitive. Okay, it happens when you are talking about the payrolls. Is it right? There are two things. One, we are talking in terms of wages. One, we are talking in terms of salaries. You go to any audit company, you will be part of a payroll audit. You go to any organization, you will be part of payroll audit. Is it? Now, what is the payroll audit? First, understand what is there. First, we will complete this and we'll stop. I don't want to give you excess inputs. First, it is occurrence and existence. Now you know occurrence and existence. The employees has to be registered. The employees has to exist. The employees has to work. Then only the process will be continued. All electronic biometric systems. Is that all biometric systems automatically when you are clocking in, clocking out. In some cases, people are working with remote work. Even computer clock in, computer clock out. How many tasks they have done. People are focusing a lot on this module, payroll. Okay, payroll. That's very important. Overtime. Is it unnecessary? There is wages, you will have overtime. Who is accounting for overtime? Overtime is approved or not? In most of the cases, all this I'm telling you this with all the questions in my mind. With all the questions in my mind. You are talking in terms of wages. Is it right? Who is authorized to take overtime? In most of the times, wages are paid by cash. Who is authorized to pay it? If it is not paid, usually you take into consideration. You take our own system. We start with Sunday, we end with Thursday. We have to pay to the wages. Concept is not there. It is monthly basis. But asking, people will pay on a weekly basis. Is a weekly basis. But if you are paying on weekly basis, sometimes you are going to say some unorganized sector. Is it unorganized sector, unskilled people? Is it unskilled people? Is it unskilled employees, unskilled workers? I can put like this. Is that you are paying, we will hire and you will use and you will utilize the services and you will pay off. then we have to be very careful. How much time they have allocated, how much they are eligible, is that how many work they have worked, all the things has to be happen. Whenever we are talking about payments, is it right? You have to made only to the registered employees of the entity. Is it right? We have to make it registered. They have to be in the payroll records. What are the payroll records? Now, you will have two different people. One person, HR people will record. Is it right? HR people will get the recording. Is that they will record all the employees. Okay, they will record all the employees as such in the register who are not there in the register. Any joining, leaving. Okay, the people who are joining, people who are leaving. Is it right? People who are joining, people who are leaving. Is it leaving the organization? We are talking in terms of leaves. Is it right? We are talking about the leaves. Is that eligible leaves? How many people are there? There are so many conditions are there. Is it right? There should be a clear-cut distinction between the HR department and the payroll function. Two different people. Personal files held for all employees. You have your own personal file with the HR department, okay? From the date of joining till the date of leaving. Even you leave the organization, the file will be there. Now everything in a soft copy. Authorization procedure for hiring, termination, time worked, wages, overtime and benefits. This will be there on the contract. As per the contract, what are the terms and conditions? Is it right? That is the source document. Any change in employment status informed by any promotions are there. Is that any promotions, any transfers? Is that any demotion? Is it right? I will put like that. Is that any change in the employment status? Use of time clocks to record time worked. Is that punching system? Is that now we are having a biometric system? Is that biometric? Clock cards approved by the supervisor. Even you cannot, you have to get it registered. Okay, biometric system, the employee has to get registered in the biometric system. Only employees with valid employee numbers are paid. You will have your own employee number. Is that you will have your own employee unique number. Is that right? Unique number will be there. Is that payroll budgets? You have to prepare budgets and you have to pay as per the budget. Is that payrolls has to have a budget? Very, very important. Understand? But very, very important. And if you get in the examination, it is really a very simple. Very simple. I am telling you now. I will tell you when we are almost completed 60% of the syllabus, 60 to 70% of the syllabus. Then I am saying it is easy, and I am seeing your response. Then I am saying it's easy. You can do it very easily. Only thing is now you have to focus on writing part. Fine. Now what you are doing when you are talking about HR and payroll, they very simple. Segregation of duties. You see everywhere there will be a segregation. That is the basic focal point of auditing. Segregation of duties. You have people who have joined, starters, people who have joined, review a sample of people who joined, who left the organization in the year or in the month. Is it in the month, year for it? Correct documentation. The moment you are leaving, when is leaving, when is joining. Review the authorization procedure. Who is there to authorize? HR director is there. Yeah, it is a CEO is there. It is the board of directors are there. As per the designation, who is authorized to sign, okay, authorized to sign the offer, employment offer letter. Is it right? Review policy for place, changing status, promotions, transfers, demotion. Is it right? And you have to see whether it has been updated in the personal files. Who has status has been changed. Is that you are getting promotions? Automatically, what will happen? Your salary will basic will change. Your benefits will change. You will get facilities will change. Monetary benefits will get affected. It has to be properly documented. Observe employees' time clocks, biometric. In most of the country organizations, still the fingerprinting is there. Is that? Still the fingerprinting is there. Time clocks. You have that cards, clock in and clock out cards. In some organization they use that also. Inspect a sample of clock cards for evidence and approved by level of management, who is authorized to have an approval. Means you cannot issue cards to each and every one. Only the registered employees, approved people should be issued to the registered employees only. Review the procedures for entering, for adding or removing employee numbers. Is that for adding or deleting? Is that for adding or deleting the who are approved to add and who are approved to delete it? Is it right? These are the things. And last but not the least, when you are talking about the budgets, you have to know the budgets. Whether budgets have been prepared, budgets have been approved, and budgets have been followed or not. Is that? This is the first and most important thing. See, you review 2 times. Understand? You have to review at least 2 times, okay? Whenever you are studying, okay? Because cash payments, cash receipts are same, more or less. Is it right? It is more or less same. Payroll is little bit different, okay? Now, what you are doing, now, that's a major part, okay? Occurrence and existence. The second is completeness. What you are doing, that payroll records cost has been recorded for work done by employees. See the thing, they're as simple as that. Every person will have a unique clock cards in use, unique number. Segregation of duties. Somebody will register, somebody will review. Is it right? Regular reconciliation of records on employee cost. Here you have to, what is the cost, what is the records, and what is the employee cost, and what is the general ledger. How much? As simple as that. What is the as per the register and as per the ledger. Comparisons of checks and bank. When we are transferring at the time of transfer, you have to say what is the amount it has been written in check and what is the amount it has been transferred with the payroll. And preparation and authorization of checks and bank transfer list. This is very, very important. Again, we will not change. You see your own, you see your own payroll slip at the end of the month. You will get it. The company will give you, the bank will send you a payroll, your payroll slip. In the payroll slip, it will be clearly defined. What is the employee code? What is the employee name? Date of joining, date of designation. How it has been segregated. Your bank account number will be there. Is it? Your bank account number will be there. Everything is just once class is over. If you have in your email box, just you refer your payroll slip once again. You will get more clear understanding about that. Review the numerical sequence of clock cards. Sequence is very important. Is that? Numerical sequence, pre-numbered sequence, automated generated sequence. Okay, Observe whether there is proper segregation of duties are there or not between payroll and HR. Okay, between, I will write here, between payroll, is it payroll and HR. Review a sample, ensure that they have properly prepared or carried out and reviewed by independent. Independent person is the third person. Okay, by senior level. Is it right? Make it very clear. You should not have any doubt here. It is nothing but a senior authorized person, authorized employee. Inquire whether comparisons are made between, you have to made between the payment records and payroll and inspect the evidence. Documentary means you should know what is there in the black and white. Okay, you have to know. And examine paid checks or certified copy of the bank list paid by the check or transfer to ensure authorization. You remember when you are paying, fine. If you are saying this is the list of the employees for the current month, you have to make sure. Again, here very important, is it right? People who usually, you will also find the same situation the moment you are joining a new organization. Is it right? You are joining a new organization. The first pay will be little bit delayed. It will take time. From second time onwards, it will be streamlined. When you are leaving the organization, is it right? Even your settlement will be little bit delayed. Little bit. Is it right? It will mean people who are joining and people who are leaving, we have to be we have to account it separately. Now, what happening? It's not only the salary. You will have some benefits. You will have some deductions. Yeah, you have taken. In some cases, there is personal loans will be there. In some cases, there will be extra benefits will be there. Some allowances will be there as per the designation. As per the designation, there will be some benefits will be there. There will be some deductions will be there. There will be some claims will be there. Is it right? They will deduct some. There will be some deduction. You have insurance deductions will be there. Is it right? You have the pension deductions will be there. Is it? You will have the thing. That has to be what we are doing. If there are anything is there, you have to reperform. Reperformance of sample of payroll benefits and deductions. For sample of employees, you have to payroll whether payroll budgets are in place. Budgets are very important. Okay, payroll budgets are so that you have the budget for the benefits. Is that you are giving any benefits? You should make sure that there should be a budget will be there to fulfill those benefits. A agreement of gross earnings and total tax deducted. Here we don't have any tax, is it right? We don't have. But if you take other countries, you will have a direct tax. Okay, you have two types of tax. You have personal tax. Is that you have a direct tax. When you are talking about the direct tax is nothing but it is on the employees. If you take UK, USA, you have to pay around 35% to 40% as tax. Is that if you have done taxation, is it right? If you have done taxation F6, then you will have that what is the standard deductions is there, what is how much your benefits are there, any tax deduction is there for the individuals. Okay, for the individuals. Now what you are doing, you are saying whether there is a documentary evidence, black and white on paper, is it, or soft copy about recalculation. That this means you should have very clear that even if it is nowadays PDF file, there should be a PDF file. Is right? You will see what are the budgeting procedures, how they are making the budgets. This is for the benefits and deductions, especially for the benefits. Inspect documentation, whether the management has reviewed or not. So, senior management, is it right? Every time that whenever there is a review, it will be reviewed by the senior management. Same thing. What are the assertions are there? If you take into consideration, the assertions are occurrence and existence. The occurrence is respect to the completeness. The occurrence is with respect to valuation. Is it? Valuation. This you have to memorize. Okay. The only thing assertion 5 is it? You have the in terms the valuation it is 2. Is it right? You have 3.1 and 3.2. Is that objective 1 and objective 2? Is that you have same thing, you have cutoff, you have a presentation and disclosure. Now I hope, I expect that you will have some basic understanding about the occurrence, existence, valuation, completeness. Is it? Some understanding. I will say very simple. In the beginning and now you have 10 to 15% of understanding. By the time we will revise the things, you will have more understanding. Is that we will have 40 to 50%. By the time you will revise, we will do the question papers, you will have more. By the time you will revise, you will have the percentage of understanding will increase. Now it is an assertion. Assertion is nothing but you are making sure that things are in place. That things are in place. You are not talking about only one or two. You are talking about multiple evidences. What is the cutoff? As simple as that. It has to be recorded in correct accounting period. You will see all the starters, leavers, changes. Here, 3 people are there. You have the people who are joined, people who are leaving, who are having any changes. Is that promptly to the payroll department. Anything happens in HR, it has to be updated to payroll department. Fine. And your master file has to be updated accordingly. Review procedures for reporting. What is the whatever whenever the change is happening, what is the procedure? From where you have to get the source information, who has to make changes, who have to approve, and who have to be transferred. Verify for a sample of people who are joining and the sample of people who are leaving. Is it? This is with respect to cutoff. Fine. Presentation, same thing. Chart of accounts. Everyone will have their employee code. Is that you will have an employee code, independent approval of accounts, charge to payroll, and you should have a payroll budgets. Most importantly, what you are doing, you are as an auditor, you will review the chart of accounts, you will review the procedures, and also you will review the budgets. Is it right? You will review the budgets. Fine. These are I will just stop now. These